G'day viewers, it's Michael here again and welcome back to Single Racer. And in today's video I want to show you an incredible three-way tussle for the lead that I had in an online server race just recently. And it features the car you see here, the Puma GTB, which I think is a very underrated car, and it's under the Copa Classic banner. But it was such a fantastic race that it actually forced me to ask the question, why are the servers on Automobilista 2 so empty? And now the truth is, I have no actual answer really, but I just wanted to give you my thoughts because one of the biggest server hosters, a channel called, or a person called the Nemesis 69, he has servers running all the time on Automobilista 2, and even he wasn't sure. So I just wanted to give you my thoughts, but I wanted it to be an open-ended question where you could give me your own thoughts in the comments below the video, because I really don't know why. So let's have a closer look and investigate some possible reasons. And so let's start with the obvious question, and that's because being an Australian, I'm awake or racing when most people in the US are asleep. It's, you know, their nighttime is my daytime. So I could understand that as being a reason. If we check it out here now, this is totally random. So this is on the 5th of September. It's just gone past midday here on a Saturday in Australia. And this is sort of what I normally see. So we got 2, 4, 6, 7. And I think 7 are the most that I've ever seen. Now, just in case you don't know this, a couple of things I wanted to mention about racing online. And that is, if you don't know, you can click on the helmet, which puts them in order. So from highest people online to the lowest, and of course you can reverse that too. So you can have the zeros showing and flick it back again. And the other thing that I've noticed that maybe a lot of people don't know, and admittedly I'm kind of guessing this, but it's just my feeling. So you're racing online, you're on the start grid ready to go for the actual race, not the qualifying. And what a lot of people do is they press start, which then puts the word ready next to your name. And there's usually a 1:30 or a 2-minute countdown. And my gut feeling is if everyone clicked start and the word ready came up next to their name, the minute or so left to go just gets skipped. I'm not sure that a lot of people might know that. I think that if everyone on the server clicked the start button, which then puts the word ready next to your name, that you don't have to wait out that 1:30 or 2 minutes, whatever it is, depending on the number of people on the server. And so naturally, I thought it was being an Australian that meant that I'm not seeing so many people on the servers, but it doesn't really make sense when you compare it to Assetto Corsa. Now, let's hop over to Assetto Corsa quickly, and I'll give you the main reason I think why it's not so popular in Automobilista 2. Okay folks, so here we are in Assetto Corsa, or more accurately Content Manager, but just to show the Assetto Corsa online servers. Now I think because of the way I record this you can't see the time in the bottom right, but it's still just after midday on the 5th of September 2020. And because I'm doing this totally randomly, but if I come over here to the online servers, you can see even though I'm an Australian, they are quite full of people, even in my time zone of being an Australian, as opposed to where the US, a lot of people are still asleep. And you know what my routine is, I usually do ping first, being an Australian, because when I race overseas the ping is really bad, like between 300 and 400. So I check for Australian servers first, and then I also like to race the Nordschleifer. which is the reason that I want to bring this up. So we'll go connected drivers, and here it is here. And I think one of the key reasons, if you have a look at this, and now we just happen to fluke my favorite car. I really enjoy driving this, the GT86, but it's the mixture of cars or mixture of classes. And I think one of the problems with Automobilista 2, but not so much that as a sim, but the madness engine that it took over from Project Cars 2, is maybe the engine itself doesn't allow you to mix classes for some reason. Now, like I said, it's midday in Australia, and look how all these greyed out ones are ones that are already on the server, and I have a choice of one car left, or it just disappeared now. So it's that fact that I can race this GT86 that you see here in the window, but it also has a Zonda on it within the class, and it's that mixture. Now, admittedly, this is the Nordschleifer, so you're going to get that range of cars, as opposed to something like Mugello. If we click on Mugello there, where you've got a smaller range of vehicles to choose from. But I think it's the fact that you can still mix and match when you set up the server, whereas the thing I like about Automobilista 2 is that it's very easy to set up a server for a beginner if you've never done it before. Apparently in Assetto Corsa it's very, very hard to figure out how to do the coding to set up the servers correctly, and a lot of people have tried and sort of run into errors, but it's still that mixture of cars from the different car classes that sort of holds back not only Automobilista 2, but Project Cars 2. I mean, one of the reasons I can honestly say I was put off was because Project Cars 2 did it as classes. And so I would go on the server on Project Cars 2, see Class C, and not understand what car it is. The thing about Assetto Corsa is it's almost done, if you've never raced online before, like as if you know that expression, tell me like I'm a 5-year-old, where I can just click on, let's pick a random one, so the LA Canyons there, I can see, oh okay, not only do I see the name of the car, but I see the picture, and it's just so well thought out that unfortunately that might be holding back Automobilista 2. And so here we are back on the AMS2 servers, and this is great because this is probably the most I've ever seen. So I've just counted them as 8 servers. If we click and bring the highest filled server to the top there, so there's 8, and actually is it 9? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. All right, so that's definitely the most that I've ever seen, and that's a good sign because it means as Automobilista 2 improves with some incredible DLC coming up, it will definitely get better and better. But speaking of DLC, this is an interesting thought. So the other reason that I thought might be a problem when you take it as a whole, so in other words, you got in Assetto Corsa, you got the unlimited classes that can be put together, which you can't do in both this and Project Cars 2. The other thing is you do have individual cars here. So if we take the Opala 86 as an example, now, or even better, the stock car V8, I know immediately what car that is. But for a beginner, when I click on P3, I might go, you know what, I don't know the game well enough to know what, so I kind of have to join and then see the picture changes and you go, oh okay, yeah, it's that car. So, you know, is that a limiting factor with not only that, and by the way, that's annoying. I always hated the fact that when you press escape, I always want to go back to the server list, but I get kicked to the menu instead. That is quite annoying as well. But my point being that is one of the problems when you compare this now to Competizione. So, you know, Assetto Corsa Competizione has, and I'm guessing because I don't have the GT4 DLC, but let's say 10 to 15 cars to choose from, as well as say the GT3, which is it's known for, might be a big list. You know, it might be anywhere from 10 to 15 as well, meaning even though it's a class, you might have many cars to choose from within that class. And could one of the problems with Automobilista 2 be that when you choose, if we go here for example and choose a class, that I think the most in any one class is 5 cars, you know, as an example. So there's not the greatest range to choose from. And to bring up something else is we've heard rumours that both the Nordschleife and Spa will be available before the end of the year. That's the rumour and the hope, or, you know, putting COVID restrictions aside, of course. But the other thing is, if they release the tourist version of the Nordschleife, will that only have the same class of car because it's the Madness engine? You know, it'll be very interesting to see how they do that. Will it be limited also when compared to both ACC and AC, because they can both have mixtures of cars together, whereas in the Nordschleife, especially the tourist version in AMS2, will it be only restricted to one class? It'll be very interesting to find that out. And so one final thing just before I show you this incredible online battle with the three of us battling it out for the lead. I asked one of the biggest server creators. Now he's not here at the moment, but it's the Nemesis 69. I'll show you the website here. Now he comes across as more of a professional driver. He's on Facebook as well, and I asked him why he thought, and he didn't know, but put the idea that maybe it's because of the carryover of the tainted, you know, I don't want to start an argument, but, you know, Project Cars 2 kind of never really knew what it wanted to be, and people thought that AMS2 was just Project Cars 2 DLC. So did the stigma of that carry over into the online thing as well? And hopefully what's happening now, if I just judge by the fact that I can see 9 here, which is the most that I've ever seen, but is the fact that it's getting better and better, meaning as more people understand that this is a much better sim than what Project Cars 2 ended up being, mainly because of the fantastic support of Reza. Will that make it better and slowly eliminate that stigma of the sim as a whole? So hopefully that will work. So what I recommend is to look out for the Nemesis 69, and also I think this is the one here. It's called Arc. I'll just double check to make sure. No, okay, it's not. There's one called, I thought it might have been his server, but it's the same as this. It's ARJ, ARJ, and he holds quite a lot of servers, and that's the race I entered in this particular video. So let's close off by saying I have no real answer, and it's an open-ended question. So if you have strong thoughts about why you think the servers are so empty, or you want to discuss Automobilista 2 in general, please leave a comment in the bottom, and it'll make for some very interesting reasons as to why you might think personally why the servers have been so slow to take off. So let's go racing now. So this is Michael signing out for Single Racer. I'll catch you next time. See you later, and let's go online racing.